Feel me like a Hellcat.
And we are live.
Oh, we live, baby.
Yeah, fix a couple things.
Man, a new background. Man, a new background though.
Like it.
Silky, you did a great job. You know that?
So can everyone in the chat hear us? Is that like a thing?
Chat, let's confirm.
Let's confirm. Y'all can hear us.
Confirm it, baby.
Confirm us. We live.
I think so. Whole process of listening to everyone.
All right, boys. Welcome. Welcome
Oh.
to the OG Boss's office. Podcast number 4. In the top left is your boy OG Infinity. Top right, Pickle.
An ID, because that shit is forever.
Bottom right
Forever.
is Hysteria.
What
And
up?
bottom left is yours truly, OG Silk. We are going to start off this podcast a little differently. We're going to start off the podcast by answering questions from the community. We have one. The first question that was asked is, what is the importance of a sub on an esports team? Like, Infinity, you go first.
Yeah, man. You know, the importance is really key for that. You know, last week I used the word dependability, and that was my word. And I really feel like it is very, very key for that sub to be dependable. For any time that sub needs to be in and playing, you know, they're always there. You know, most of the time your sub is there because, you know, you can depend on them to be there. They can do their role, play their, you know, part, and always be dependable. So I do feel like it is a key role for them to be there, no matter if they're playing or not. It's a key role that they're there.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with that. But I also agree the importance of a sub is maybe that the sub brings in, like, if you're having a bad, say someone, like say in COD, for example, someone's having a bad game, and you just need a breath of fresh air. You know what I mean? Like, they need a new outlook on it. This sub has already been there watching every game. He's seen everything that's going on. So you know, the team could be like, hey man, you're not playing so well. Take a step back. We're just gonna put the sub in and see kind of how everything works out. And I think that could really, you know, elevate you if you have a good sub. It elevates your team to a new level because it adds that randomness. Because that person can come in at any time and just kind of fuck everything up for the other team.
Yep, that's why I try to get my guys over here on the COD side. I try to get them to really try to play as much as they can whenever they're not in big tournaments with their sub, you know, so he gets that practice in as well with the team, and things are clicking like beautifully, you know, not just kind of scattered everywhere.
And I think that's the key piece there. Like, you have to give your subs some playing time, whether they just have a slightly different availability. You know, maybe they're available a little earlier or a little later in the night, so that way they can get some practice. Because if you don't, you're exactly right. You're going to have the sub doing something completely different. And these games go so fast from an esports point. At least the games we're competing in are all fast-paced games. So if they're not on the same page, you're going to end up with very different results than what you do with your main player.
Yeah, and that subs, he's got to be able, he or she's got to be able to adapt. They've got to be able to see the changes, come in the game, that fresh attitude that Silk's talking about, and just kill it. Bring it back to life.
Yeah, I mean that is to me what embodies a sub, is bringing just life into the game, because it is chaos. Like when a team's so used to seeing the same people over and over and over again, and then you just add something new. It's like when you throw what's an analogy? When you throw you have a bunch of lions and you just throw a piece of meat in there. You know what I mean? It's just gonna start going crazy because they expect this certain thing happening all the time, and then all of a sudden there's a new person in there. They're like, okay, how good is this person? What does this person do? How does it change the outlook on the game?
No facts. No, I completely agree.
Yeah.
Yep.
But go ahead.
Yep. No, that's right. What's the other part of that question? I know there's a second part.
My second part. Okay, so my question is to everybody in this room. What's the importance of understanding that the team comes first all the time?
So
Repeat the question.
I think I'll start with this. This might give you some more context here. The team first mentality boils down in the simplest essence that you're not playing for individual stats. When you play for the team, whether you're on bottom, you're on top, you're leading in deaths, leading in assists, you're always trying to do whatever your particular role is better. As a result, the team gets better. The team is put forward as the main component. So in our various esports, you have very simple roles of your IGL. You have your people that lurk, your people that take positions down. And if they don't know that's what their job is, it's very easy to just get, very individualistic and look at your own stats of, oh man, I'm playing bad this game, I got to try to frag out. But that takes away from the strategy side of things. And that's the highest level of esports, is not just being mechanically skilled, but also being very strategic as in the way you position. So I think that's kind of the big thing there, why it's so important to understand that playing for a team is way bigger than playing for yourself.
No doubt. Play your part. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Know your role. Play it well.
It really, feel like if you know you're on a team, right, it's like a second job outside of a job. You need to be dedicated to it and let that, build around it. The team comes first. You need to be there to practice with them. All that. On the COD side, I see a lot of scoreboard checking mid-game, but what are you really checking that scoreboard for? I know when I look at my scoreboard, I'm looking at my kills and deaths. So I know for a fact they're looking at that, and they see they're doing bad. They're going to try to do better, get better kills, so they don't look like they're doing real crap. And once you start doing that, that's playing for personal stats, and you don't want that at all, because that's, like you said, Hysteria, you're not playing as a team at that point. Yep. You need to be focused. And correct me
if I'm wrong. Don't mean to cut you off here. In Call of Duty, it's not like Valorant where you have like your ultimates coming up or like econ involved. Like you're literally just looking at slashline. So unless you're trying to figure out who on the enemy team is literally popping off and trying to come up with a strategy to block them, what else are you searching for? You're probably right. You're probably looking at it because you're like, crap, I feel like I'm doing bad. All of a sudden you see you're 3 negative. You're like, fuck, I got to get 3 kills. I got to get back to being positive and helping the team here. And, at that point, you probably play worse.
Yeah. You do. Especially if you're like in a role, like an anchor position where you're playing for spawns repetitively. And I used to play that role. I've played every single role, and I know how it is. I know once you start seeing your stats being bad, you're like, crap, man, I look like crap. But you're doing your part by doing it. Like, it doesn't matter what it is. I mean, if you're not going, I think, I don't know how to put this without contradicting myself. If you're going negative, you're not doing something right on your part, I feel like. Because as an anchor position, if you're rotating and you're going negative, you're dropping your deaths. So you're not getting there. So, I mean, it tells me you're not getting there or you're losing spawns. So it kind of needs to be kind of balanced in COD, I feel like. If you're an OBJ, it's kind of a different story because you could just sit in that hill, you might die. It doesn't matter. You just go back. You got somebody who traded you out. You get back in. They leave. Even though you're sitting in it. Your Slayers, they're going to be running around, getting kills, dropping them, dying, dropping them, dying.
So sorry. Does it add unwanted pressure that's not really needed?
100%.
Yep.
100%. You know, the slash lines, I tell everybody this, right? Slash lines are sometimes an indication of what happened in that game. You can look at it and go, somebody went -10, whatever. They probably were doing something wrong. But were they doing something wrong and it was mechanical skill, or was it a strategic issue that they were making an issue on? Maybe the team strategy of where they were positioning. Call of Duty a little more fast-paced than Valorant, but a lot of games have this, that your positioning is still important. So if you're positioning, let's say, you know, you're trying to hold a certain angle from the right-hand side and you continuously die on repeat, but you make one small correction of moving to the left-hand side, and all of a sudden you pick it up just at the end of the game by making that in-game adjustment. If you go -10, you can look back at that file and you go, all right, so I was playing right, wasn't working, I made the correction, I need to see that faster, I need to get quicker in that precision of the game there. As a result, you're not going to go negative as much. But again, slash lines are important, but you got to be able to understand where the information's coming from. It's one thing to see data and go, yep, I went negative. But to understand why you went negative is that true key there. And unfortunately, mid-game, you're not always able to see that. Mid-game, you're looking for an ego purpose. So in Call of Duty, you got to try to minimize it and continue to just understand what's happening. Valorant, it's a little different. Rogue Company, it's a little different. You got a couple more things that you're looking at overall. But as a result, end game, it's super important. Because you may look back at it and go, man, this person had 22 assists. That sounds like a lot in Valorant, but honestly, what are they doing? That means they probably were missing their shots, not necessarily getting the kills, so they were relying on other people, and they were getting traded out and actually putting the team in bad position. So again, you got to kind of take it with a grain of salt when it comes to slash lines. There's both good and negative. If you don't understand where that data is coming from, you've already shot yourself in the foot.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I agree with all of this. I also feel like if you're looking at the slash lines, you're trying to find a reason to either make yourself feel better or find a reason you're losing that isn't your fault. Like if you feel like you're losing, and you feel like it's your fault, you go to the slash line and say, okay, I'm at the bottom. If I'm at the bottom, you know, it's my fault. But if someone else is at the bottom, you have someone else to blame it on. You know what I mean? And then once you see that, you confront that person. You're like, hey, why are you doing this? Instead of saying, hey, you know, let's go back and watch the VOD and see what's going on.
Yep.
And then in the middle of the game, when you do that, it creates unnecessary frustration because now you're putting pressure on this dude to try and play better because he wants to prove that he doesn't, quote unquote, suck to you.
Yeah.
So true.
It could create a proactive vibe or it could create a negative vibe real quick.
Yeah, and I feel like that's what happens with a lot of low-level teams is they start looking at the score line trying to say, okay, you know, I'm doing better than everybody else, so I'm just better. Instead of saying, okay, you may have 30 kills, but what did those kills amount to? Like, what did you get from each kill? Like, are they just exit frags where you just got somebody exiting? Or is it an actual useful kill that something happened when you killed that person?
I think Venom's got a good terminology for that. You can drop 30 kills all you want, but are they impact frag? That's the key there. You know, if those kills aren't leading to round wins, those kills aren't leading to advantages for the team, they really don't mean anything. It's the classic argument in sports. You hear it all the time. I don't care what my stats were. Did we win or did we lose? That's what it boils down to at the end of the day. So drop 30 kills. If you don't win, it don't matter.
Mm-hmm.
Teams can't come away with the dub. There's no other way around it.
100%.
Yeah.
Okay, so does anybody in chat have any questions? This is your chance to kind of ask us, you know, anything you want to know. It could be any sport, it could be any game, esports, anything, except for politics. I don't deal with politics.
Get politics out of it, but for sure, anything regarding anything we just talked about or anything else.
While that is going, and we're waiting on that, don't mean to cut you guys off there. Valorant Team is down 0-1 in the finals. Right? They did lose the first game in overtime.
Best of 3, right?
Yep, best of 3, down 0-1, and they lost a 14-12 game. You know, you didn't get to watch it all, so, you know, hard to say what exactly went wrong, what exactly went right.
Yeah.
Close game.
Very close game.
Okay, opinions on every team's progress or obstacles for every team. Hysteria or...
Well, I would like to kind of hear some Valorant, since Valorant's going, no offense, Infinity.
Yeah, of course.
The team's
So-
brilliant. There has been some roster changes, and
Yeah, so that's definitely the biggest obstacle that both teams are doing. So as far as progress goes, Black Team is still, at the moment, we would say probably a little bit further ahead than Red Team as far as raw performance, where they've been able to get to progression. Both teams, I do believe, are talented and can get to where they need to get to, but we are moving into new rosters with both of them. On the last podcast, we talked about Dam, unfortunately, being missing at the time. We hadn't really heard from him. We actually found out later that night that he was going to step away. Just parting on good terms. At the end of the day, we're moving in a new direction. Also, shortly after that, I believe it was midweek here, our new Sova player, Tony, for Red Team, also decided to part ways. Again, I think he felt like he just wasn't playing well, felt like he wasn't quite getting the job done, and decided to. So both teams have now swapped in new people. Red Team's new player, I think, is the person that joined earlier today. I have not had a chance to chat with them, so unfortunately, I apologize, guys. But I believe the name is Spaz on that one there. I'll get more information, pass it along if I can. But as far as Black Team goes, right now we are currently in a tournament for the Moonrise tournament. It is another Tier 2 T2C tournament there for us. So far, what I've been able to understand, because I didn't see the first two games, we've steamrolled basically pretty much everybody to get to the finals. And I think this is the first game that we've dropped all day, because obviously it's best of the finals. So that holds true there. So we are trying out Rano, who came over from Trade Like Pros, another team that we've had good relations with in the past. I think they knocked us out in a VCS or VCT a little while ago. So they were a very talented team. He was their IGL, their shot caller. So he's going to come over and do that for us, at least for the time being of this weekend. We have another small tournament tomorrow. And obviously, the VC will be the showdown.
yeah, and the team we got beat by on Sunday was actually Pugstars, right?
Yep. So Pugstars has won 3 in a row now. So they're the team to beat. They're the team everyone's chasing right now. Reno, I think, comes with some really good strategies. As far as like a mechanical standpoint, it allows the other 4 of our players to really kind of play to their strength, which is get kills, do your job. They're all extremely talented in each one of their respective characters and roles. And I think that kind of frees up, I don't want to word it the wrong way, some of the brain power, as bad as it sounds. When you're trying to shot call and you're trying to be the voice on the team, it's very hard to do both, right? It's very hard to make calls and frag out. So now they just get back to just fragging out, let Rando make the calls. They all kind of believe in him. It's been a good breath of fresh air, kind of a new fresh style, so to speak. Maybe an important kind of that idea of not being afraid to bring people, much like the sub role we were talking about earlier, kind of bring it all full circle. So, we'll have to wait and see. Obviously, again, first tournament, so, hard to give too much on it, but that's kind of where we're at right now.
Oh, for sure. And, was it? No, I want to hear about some of that COD.
Well, I'm just going to go ahead and give my full update because, that's pretty much going with the progress, and then I'm going to throw some obstacles in it, So, big shout out to Black. They won the Sunday League last week. They didn't get any credit for it. They didn't get posted out anywhere from the tournament side. But they did apologize for that. But good job, boys. You guys did great. I know you're in here, League, so good job.
I think ALE or AEL actually did end up posting it out because I'm pretty sure I ended up like retweeting them, putting that shit on Instagram, everything.
So it just might have been a little late at that point, yeah.
They didn't tag everybody, like they tagged the team, obviously. But.
Yeah, they. I saw their Discord and they said they apologized for a late response, but yeah, good job. Good job to them there. They do have an upcoming league coming up, the AEL Cash League. It's going to be a good one, man. It's got some teams in it that we can take care of. I really do have good faith in these guys to win this league, hopefully. As well as they have March Madness, and I'm not 100% sure if this one's actually going to be partaking in. I paid a fee for it, but they let me know that they might refund me my money because they're not too sure how they're going to go upon doing this tournament. So I guess we'll see where that leads.
What do you mean they're not sure how they're like? Is that not something you like? Oh, hey, yeah, we have a tournament. We need y'all to pay, but we have no idea how we're gonna run it.
How we're gonna do it? Yeah. So
That sounds pretty fishy there, but
Smells like fish. Looks like
well,
a fish.
the guy, I know a couple of the guys that are gonna run it, and I'm for sure that I'll get my money back. So I trust them. Hopefully.
Maybe they'll pull the thing
it's all
together.
that matters.
But going on, let's go to White. I guess we could talk about that. Yeah. So they started NACAL this week, and they played Infamous Gaming. Took a smacking 3-0 to the face. Just a severely bad loss.
Unusual, too.
Yeah, very unusual from White. And they also took a loss 3-2 to CTC Org. Man, that really depleted their confidence, man. And I guess within this, one of our new players, Speedy, really cool guy, I thought at first, but he's got some connections to the pro teams. And I guess our team captain and him kind of got into a little feud over one of the losses, and I think the rest of the players followed. So White team is now down to one guy, which is not good whatsoever. But I have mad respect for him because my keyword for this week is loyalty, and that is one thing this guy right here is showing me. He has showed me nothing but loyalty. He always there, like every single day. I see him on streaming, he's practicing, even if it's by himself doing 1v1 wagers. He's always doing that. He's always messaging me, making sure I'm up to date on what's going on with the teams. Well, his team, not the teams. I don't know. I really think this guy will find a team that stays and turns that into a really good top team. So mad respect out to him. That's at you, Praise. I don't know if you're in here or not, but I feel like I do need to shout his name out. Praise is a really good guy. But yeah, that's with them. So I guess we're dropping out of NACAL. Another waste of money right there. But it is what it is, man.
Learn.
It is what it is.
But yeah,
And
obstacles, like along is progress, like we're having with Black right now. There's some good progress being made.
That's the point though, is this isn't stuff that's done overnight. It takes time. So you're gonna see different roster iterations for sure.
That is facts. It's gonna happen. And
Yep.
I'm gonna jump back to the obstacle part. I really feel like one of the obstacles our teams are having is White had lost, and they kind of trying to think of the word, but I can't think of it. But they lost their
mentality.
Yeah, they lost mentality. They couldn't take the loss, and I feel like they were a new team. They don't really know what they're doing yet. I mean, it's not a new team, but they had a new player, so they should have went in expecting to lose a couple. I mean, it happens, especially as a new team, and it happens. And Black team, I feel like they're losing, but they're winning just as much as not as much. They're winning more than they're losing, but they're still losing. And there's no reason that they should be down about that. It happens. And I really kind of feel like the obstacle there is that they don't have a coach. I try to be in there time to time to help them, but I don't have the time off of work and then managing all these other, the teams and doing that at the same time. So Silk and I sat down the other day and we found a guy who could potentially be a good coach. I'm going to find out Sunday, actually, to see if he's actually decent. And throw him in there for White and Black when White comes back, and Black to use, and I really hope they can utilize him to become a better team. I mean, this guy has apparently put teams on the board.
Yeah.
They're recognizable. So
Yeah, he's
I
like,
mean,
he said he had like what, 3
he's a
top,
T17 coach.
Yeah, like 3 top 15 challenger teams.
Yep.
I like it.
And one of those teams being Team Nuclear. So if anybody knows who that is, you know who he is.
Yeah.
But I feel like another obstacle is what I used last week: dependability and loyalty from players. You need to be able to depend on your players to show up and practice. You need to depend on your players to do their part. But at the same time, you need the loyalty from them. All right? You need to know that they're not going to leave after taking a loss. It happens, man. And that it just blows my mind that they left just because of a loss and got into one argument. I've seen so many arguments come out of Black, and they're still a team because they know and they're loyal to each other. They're loyal to me, loyal to the org, and that's one team I know personally I can depend on. So I'm grateful for those guys. I really am, man. They got some things I know they're gonna get up there.
Yep.
But
and I think the biggest thing, you use dependability and loyalty a lot, for sure. But I think really what it boils down to is how much do you want the team to be. At the end of the day, the teams that really want to put in the work and really want to get where they want to be, they're going to try some things before they just kind of, pin their tail back. And right. Obviously, your rosters aren't always going to work. Every roster is going to go through a drop of a player here, drop of a player there, change of role here. So, it's bound to. But to see, 3 of the 4 people leave, it's a little disheartening. But ultimately, at the end of the day, the type of culture that we want, the type of culture that we're going to get out of our team is, obviously different. They had it. Wish them nothing but the best. But obviously, life moves on, and we're going to keep building better teams.
Sure are, 100%.
At the end of the day, they'll look back at it, and they'll decide if it was right for them.
Yeah, and it requires patience too. Like, you gotta be patient to see the progress.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
Like,
Yep.
I know loyalty's big, but like, you do have to be patient. Like everybody always thinks overnight. Like, they want this shit now. We live in the now day and age. Like,
We do, man. We do.
Get information instantly. Like, it's expected, but like, you have to be patient. You have to. Success takes patience.
I think a good word is grind.
Grind.
Takes a lot because it's both mental
Dedication.
physical. Obviously, again, that brings into maturity, dependability, loyalty. Like, all of those words just fall underneath that kind of terminology of grind. It is a grind to be a pro player. It is a grind to get to T2, T3, and it just got to be willing to put in the work. So,
yeah, you do. I asked my players the other day what their goal is, why they're competing, what their goal is, and what they want, pretty much to come out of this. And you asked every single one of them, they told me the same thing, and pretty much. And that's just to be a pro. They want to make it to that top, tier. And that's not going to happen unless you do exactly what you just said and grind it out. You need to be loyal with your team. You need to be loyal with yourself and make sure you're grinding it out. You got to show the dedication.
Yeah.
Very true. Very true.
You have to.
You gotta build it.
Yeah.
Okay, so next question.
I was going to say, this is a question for you, so let me ask you this, bro. What's the hardest part about starting a new brand in a team or a new team within your brand, i.e. like the Rogue Company team that we're working on? What's the struggles you're dealing with? So what's the hardest part about it?
I would think the hardest part is kind of like what y'all been going through, is finding players that want to stick to the schedule. Like, they want to show up, they want to practice, and then when they start losing, they just want to leave. Like, you can't have that. Like, you have to be able to say, okay, let's sit down, let's figure out what's going on. And when you sit down and you watch VODs and you go over all the VODs, and you say, okay, this person is the problem. He's missing shots. We have to get rid of him and pick up somebody who can hit their shots and, do what we need him to do. and on the flip side, you have to say, okay, if he's missing his shots or he's hitting his shots and we're still losing, what's the next plan of action? Okay, next plan of action is, this is to have an actual game plan when we're going into it, not just randomly going around the map trying to fucking slay people.
100%. I like using this analogy here: coaching versus behavioral. Is it behavior they don't want to do it, or is it something that they're just maybe haven't been coached on what is the right thing to do? And that's obviously responsible on your team captain, your coaches, and then your IGL as well too, kind of be the main focal. So I think that's a good way.
And then I would have to say the next part is finding a coach. Like, you need to find a person who knows how to play the game and wants to actually sit down and coach people. That's been the hardest thing to do in the org in general for every team, is finding a dedicated coach that you don't have to pay an arm and a leg for. Like,
well, shit. Also in your position, like turnover right now.
Yeah.
Turnover, man. Like, it's hard to get that group in there. Like, you gotta have the group in there first before like the coach even comes in.
Definitely.
And like, to get these consistent scrim partners, like, it's those steps. Like, it's rough.
I know Affinity's seen a little bit of like what I went through, I don't know, probably 2-3 months ago with the Valorant team. Very similar thing. You got people leaving, you got people joining, you had teams, you didn't have teams, everything was shooken. But, that's step 5 or 6 down the road. The hard part is, what is step 1? There's so many dominants. Everybody's like, oh, it's easy to make an esports team. Oh, it's easy to make a brand, whatever it may be. It's, they don't realize all the finite details that on like days, for lack of better terms, you just don't want to do it sometimes, right? You don't want to put in work, but to make this successful, you just got to sit down and do it. You got to be a little different there.
Dedication.
Dedication's a good word there.
Yes.
We like using the OG difference as, kind of a joking, kind of fun point for all of us. A lot of that's kind of the concept, right? When it boils down to it, we all depend on one another to do the job that's done. And step 1 is just getting people. Step 2, putting them together in games, seeing how that, like the list goes on and on. And then once you get to the point where Infinity's at, you start to see problems, and now you got to make adjustments, turns, and everything else. And even like with the Valorant team, which I would say is, a little bit further progressed than some of the Call of Duty's teams are, we're still hitting our fair share of problems. We just lost, our shot caller, our IGL, and all of a sudden we're swapping in a new person. How does that change the team dynamic? We did it literally last week before the tournament. On the day of the tournament, we had to put a random person. We played well, but challenges never stop. Every day is a new challenge. You just got to figure out how to adapt and overcome it.
Definitely. The next question is, what are future plans for Onslaught? Do y'all want me to do this, and y'all can just kind of?
I mean, go ahead, start us off. So give us what you envision.
How to answer this question without telling too much going on?
Like, not the full insights, dude.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, we love you guys, but there are some pieces that we have to, for purposes of where we want to go, keep a little bit confidential.
We are looking for sponsors. Well, we'll say that. We are looking for sponsors. But to get sponsors, you have to get known. Like, people don't just allow you to play underneath their brand. Usually, like, say, Battle Beaver sponsor. Hey, hopefully we get that, and that comes with winning. Though the more you win, and the more you put yourself out there, or the more you put your team out there, the more you win tournaments, the more you get shouted out on different Twitters and Instagrams. The more these sponsors start clicking and seeing, Onslaught, and then finally they say, holy cow, look how many times this team's won already. Let's go check to see if they've actually put in for a sponsorship. They did. Okay, then they hit us back like, hey, we're interested. Like, what can we do to make this happen? And that all comes from like kind of what Hysteria and Infinity have been saying this whole time is dedication and grind. The more you grind, the more things come to us, and the more things come to y'all, because we, as stuff comes to us, we give it back to y'all, because that's what we're based on, is our community. But in the future, I would say we're growing the YouTube channel, social medias are about to start getting back up. Pickle's been super busy lately with his, IRL job. So social media is about to be popping again. The future pretty much is whatever y'all as the players can kind of bring us to. Like we depend on y'all to kind of put our name out there, but we also do it by social media and stuff. But we're not playing in the tournaments. We picked y'all up to play in the tournaments. So basically, that's all I can really say.
Yeah, getting sponsors is just like sales. It's numbers on the board. Like they're gonna be like with Valorant. They're gonna sponsor a Valorant team. They're checking VLR, Spike GG, seeing what our rank is, seeing how many games we've played, how much our earnings are.
Yeah.
Like once our Val teams start winning some good winnings, like VCS pays what $1,000 a week.
Yep. 700 to first place, 300 to second place. Exactly.
Every single Sunday. And so like once the earnings start getting up there, but the social media presence is huge. Like, we'd be posting, like I have been busy. I have been very busy with my IRL job. But like that's if you apply for any sponsorship and in the low tier stage like this, they evaluate your numbers. You have to use like a third party platform. They have to like take all the numbers. They take like your whole application. They go through it. But they aren't even going to start looking at it until they see that 5-figure range, that 10,000 plus.
Yeah.
And so, like, I mean, we're getting close. Like,
what are our exact numbers on Instagram and Twitter right now, Pickle?
I believe on Instagram we're at like 2.2. We're at like almost 500 on YouTube. We have 60 follows on Twitch. We're 560 something on Twitter. Let me see.
So, to add to that, because again, I want to put something tangible in your guys' hands. We're saying a lot of what ifs right now. By the end of the year, I know me and Pickle will probably be on the same page with this one here. We want to double Instagram. We want to be in the 4 to 6K range there by end of year. That should be very easy for us to attain and very easy to continue to push the direction we're going, as that's our main social media platform now. Twitter's always a little trickier because Twitter's got a completely different algorithm there. As a result, you said we're about 560 right now, Pickle?
Actually, 572.
572. So I would argue same exact thing. Let's double that by the end of the year. We're going to be at 1,000 by the end of the year. We'll keep everything short term for right now. Obviously, there's a lot more long term thought process behind the board. Then after that, we hope with these numbers, both our Valorant teams can get back within the top 100. One of them back within the top 50, as we both believe that is very doable. They just got to solidify both rosters. From the Call of Duty side of point, I don't know how much they do rankings in Call of Duty, but again, continue to see them progress in tier 3 and tier 2 scenes there. That's going to be our push there for us. Right now, obviously, with Rogue Company and Fortnite, we have to kind of continue to grow both of those teams. So I'll leave those open-ended for now, not because we don't believe in them by any way, shape, or form, just because, again, we got to lay the groundwork and the foundation to be able to get to. Then as a result, YouTube is going to be the next big focus, as well as Twitch. So if you guys haven't, if you guys are checking it out on here, be sure to smash that follow button for us. When it goes up on YouTube, be sure to smash that sub button for us. Just give us a little
comment and like. Like, that's the main thing. Like, the algorithm has to do with commenting and liking.
Right now, yep. You got it.
Also, any content creators, be sure to reach out, because that's also how we get our numbers up. Like,
and I was going to say that was probably the next direction I think we're going to be moving into and trying to push hard, but we got to lay the groundwork for the rest of our teams first. We are big, although we don't got Venom on here, he preaches this all day long. Stay in what you're good at and really get good at it before you branch into something else. That way you have a strong basis that you're building off. You don't want to stretch yourself too thin and try a million different things. We're 4 people running the program. Yes, Infinity does a lot for us on the Call of Duty side of things, and we are very appreciative of him and a lot of the other people in the organization. But ultimately, at the end of the day, you got the 4 heads at the top trying to, get pulled 800 different directions. We got to boil in and make sure we're putting our assets in the right basket. So I think that's probably the tangible items that we can probably really 100% say. Of course, sponsorships are something that we are really looking at on the table, but
those will come down. It comes back to patience. Like
and we got
we
to get
have
results.
affiliate deals, but like we're not pursuing those type of
Yeah, obviously the big move to start the year off was the apparel company. You see the three of us wearing the pro jersey there. Infinity's rocking the classic jersey for us. Real Gamer Wear was a nice little asset to us. And this is the type of branding we're trying to move towards. We're not trying to rush it because, again, we want to make sure that it's right for looking at the company. You were going to say something, Infinity? I apologize. I cut you off, man.
No, you're good. I was gonna ask Pickle. What about merchandise? Are there gonna be any future new, merch in the store?
Yeah, I mean, we may do a few other things. I know you may have something you want to show the crowd that you just got recently.
That was just a play. I did get a glass. I got our Onslaught logo on and our little thing. I do enjoy the glass. I got the phone case too.
Edition logo. We haven't seen that in a year.
Yeah, the
Had to
limited
put it
edition
on
OG logo, baby.
They'll drop once again, probably in a better quality this year.
Oh, definitely. Hopefully in a better quality.
Yeah.
So let's go to the next question. Do we prefer to watch or play?
Shit. Like, I don't know. It depends who I'm with.
And
If I'm with the OGs, dude, I'm down for whatever. If I'm solo queuing, you won't catch me more than like 15 minutes.
Yeah. Go ahead, Infinity. Go ahead.
man, I mean, if I have to choose between the two, I mean, now it'd probably be watch. But a lot of times I'm sitting here watching, and I just wish I was in there, man. I wish I was playing. I do miss the competitive side of things. I miss playing with all the guys. But some point or another, you got to take the step down. And in this case, I had to step down so I can help manage a little better on the COD side. And it's been really helpful that I did, because I didn't have a whole lot of time before. But I do miss it. I really do.
Hey,
Hey,
you do have fun now.
I do. I do. I get to enjoy a little bit of time with the boys. Yeah.
Locked in Rust for hours.
Oh, that was the best week ever right there.
That
right?
was the best week ever. I spent the whole week from day until I went to bed in Rust.
Yeah, freaking 6 in the morning till 3 the next morning. Yeah, sign me up.
No, it was me and Infinity. We were stuck in there, bro. As soon as I woke up, I was in Rust. Right before I went to bed, I got off Rust, ate me some Lunchable or something, and went to bed and woke up and did it again.
So I feel like I can safely say you enjoy playing more Silk than watching.
No. Like, okay. So playing a game, yes, but the whole reason I started the organization is because I enjoyed playing. Don't get me wrong. I enjoyed playing Smite with Hysteria. I enjoyed playing League of Legends when I was like 18, 19, 20 years old in the Army. I was playing competitive League of Legends. But, once you get to like a certain area in your life, you're like, I don't really want to play no more. Mm-hmm. And you have to think about, okay, what do I want to do? So in my mind, I was like, what do I want to do? I was like, okay, I want to start an organization. I'm not going to get all into it because, we're going to do an Origins thing and it's going to come out all this. But I was like, okay, what do I want to do with the organization? I want to pick up teams because I enjoyed watching. Like, I watch LCS every single week. I watch Valorant every single time it's on in tournaments. I don't really like watching COD because, it's annoying. It's annoying to me. But I do get in every single person, like, for real, every single person stream in here. I jump in and watch. Do I enjoy watching COD? No. But I get in and watch it because, I enjoy it. I enjoy watching every person in my organization thrive. And the only way they're going to thrive is for me to be in there supporting you, like an owner should.
Yep.
So I will say COD is a little something to watch.
So the just a topic on that. COD is so fast paced that there's a lot going on that you have to like that style of game. And there is people that will and people that won't. But as Silk said, obviously at some point we will have the OG Origins coming on. I know this podcast is already going on 50 minutes here, so you're amazing with your questions. Thank you. We promise we will do the OG Origins at some point. Whether it's tonight or later on at some point, but we will get that information.
It will
We
not
may
be
have to do a
tonight.
2 for this week. We might have to do something.
Yeah, I think that might be the right way to do it. Is just do a whole separate video. That's the whole thing that we go over. That's just the Twitch, the stream for that day. But for me personally, watching versus playing, I look at it in two stances. I look at it from a competitive sense. If you're asking, do I enjoy competitively playing anymore? I still have an extremely competitive. I absolutely love playing games competitively, but I'm not good enough to play at the highest level anymore. I started, that was probably 2011, 2010. To date myself here a little bit, Halo 3 was my first competitive game that I really went professional. I was a semi-professional player in that. I was playing tournaments. We were sponsored by the local tournament organization. We were the team that was winning every single week. It was only like $200. The team was $50 for each one of the players, but we were playing every single week. So we won that. I did that for probably 3 or 4 years. Then I branched into Call of Duty. We had multiple sponsorships in Call of Duty. We played, I think, underneath the tag Toxic Gaming at the time or something like that. And we had various different sponsorships. One of the big ones that we had was Troll Freaks before Troll Freaks they are. We got them as their startup. They were day one we were sponsored with. So it was kind of cool. But that was back when they were doing, affiliate program. Get to where they are now. So kind of neat to see them come full circle. Then obviously me and Silk teamed for a little while on Smite. We branched off. We both were in different teams. That's when OG's first concepts came from, with both Pico and Silk way back when of the A+ days. Obviously, a lot has changed since then. A lot, and we promise we'll touch on that. So that's just there for you guys. Just a little teaser. What was that? 2017, Silk, a rough time frame, and then 2019 is the real kind of the real start of the ride, if that makes sense.
Yeah, it was probably 4 years ago, eh?
Yeah,
It was a while ago, man. It's just like one of those things where I was sitting here, I was like, I had already done it with Hardfall for a long time, and I was like, you know what, man, this could be big. So I messaged Pickle every single day. I was like, bro, this could be something big. Look at it, look into it, bro.
Yeah, I've got a picture on my computer here. I know those obviously predate mine. Where is that shot here? I think it's this one here. Yeah, it's a message from Silk. What is that? September of 2019. Hey, I want to talk to you. And it kind of just all starts from there, man. It just all starts there. Long story, but we promise we'll tell you that story. There's your guys' little teaser on that one there.
This weekend. I think we do this weekend.
We should be able to.
You know what? We'll do it Sunday. We will do it Sunday morning. Sunday morning, as long as everyone's available.
You don't go to church. This is perfect for you.
Sunday morning, church sermon, OG Origins.
Oh my God.
We'll have the church music playing in the background, folks. Don't you worry.
We'll talk about this after this is done. Anyways, I also did Overwatch for a good while there. I made that to the T3 side of things. That was high diamond match play. I also competed in a Madden League for a while, so I've really played a bunch of different games at the highest level, or at least that kind of upper echelon. I don't want to say I was pro in anything, but I was definitely pushing the envelope in places. So for me, I still love the game, but there's games like Valorant. I'm fucking ass at it. I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm the person that's in theory running the teams and kind of part of the main operation of it, and I'm just not good. That's why we got people like Venom who are just truly talented at the game to coach, really be that leader.
Yeah, we're the Tim the Tatmans.
Hey, come on now. Go into here. But no,
man.
Looking at it now, I still obviously 100%. You take the competitive side of things out of it. If you're just asking if I want to play a game with the boys, we're playing every day. My fiance hates me for it. No, I'm playing. She's mildly irritated with how much I play. We'll word it that way. I won't say she's mad at me. Won't say she's angry with it. But she knows it's a big part of my life. But overall, it's one of those things. It doesn't go away. You always want to play, but that's the reason why you, at least for me, when I'm watching that game, I go, "Ooh, can I do that?" I still have that sense of I'm good enough to do those.
Yeah.
And most of the time it doesn't work out anymore, but you still try, and I think that's what makes watching so fun.
Yep. I agree.
I did see a Battle Beaver comment. I won't comment on that, but I will say I love Battle Beaver. Like, I feel like it's cooler than Scuff. Like, some of the things that you can do with the Battle Beavers. It might be on the tag. I'm not going to say anything else. It just might be out there. I don't know.
Hey, you never know.
Scuffs all day, baby.
But I know Infinity has to work in the morning. Everybody and Hysteria's, weren't running on fumes. So
I do have one last thing. I feel super bad for leaving them out. I do want to give a shout out to Red Team. They've been working very, very hard. They've been scrims. Yep, Eclipsey and his boys. They've been practicing a whole lot more, and they're really trying to get things clicking, and they're doing a lot better than they used to be. So, big shout out to them. Good job, boys.
Yeah, good job, boys. Good job. But yeah, we're gonna wrap it up, boys. Thank for real. Thank everybody. Thank you for coming out and supporting our stream, supporting this. The questions, we're gonna try and do this more often so we can engage with y'all and answer the questions that y'all want to know. Because obviously y'all have questions for us because we're never in y'all's Discords doing much. So y'all have questions for us. So we're going to try and do this more often. So, maybe next week show up. We might do this again. We may not. It just depends on how much we have on the table, or who the special guest is. But anybody else have any
questions? Like you can submit anywhere. Like Twitch, Twitter, YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, comment, message, whatever. Any questions that you answer, definitely tweet us.
Yeah, add us.
Add us. Like, be sure to turn on push notifications. Those are glorious. Like, do not be offended if Onslaught does not follow you. Like, we are trying to follow just the team and the community, so it makes it easier for us to kind of support them, because that's what we want to do. Everybody in our community, team members, otherwise content creators, we want to put you guys out there. So like, you guys will be the only ones followed going forward. If you see the following like decrease, that's for a reason, just so we can support our community further. Anybody that like fucks with us, it doesn't matter if you're on the team, but if you're like a strong supporter or anything like that, be sure to join the Discord. Like, message the guys. Like, we're always on. Like, there's
very true
everywhere.
I saw you jump up there, Infinity. What you got?
A little social idea here for us on Onslaught. If you do end up buying merch from our store, take pictures in it. Let us know. Make sure you tag everybody, and maybe we will repost.
Oh, no, it's not even a question. If you've got merch, posted everywhere, like, we will be like, once we get once we have means to like use our website again, we will have a whole gallery of like just fan art, like a whole tab of just fan stuff. Like, it doesn't matter if it's art, merch, whatever. Any way you want to support the team.
Wait for my banner picture.
Yeah,
there you go. That one right there.
Lucky.
How big is that thing?
That thing is roughly like 50 feet long by about 3 feet wide. 50 feet, yeah, 5 feet long. My fault. I had an extra 0 on there. But honestly, probably 52 inches, give or take there. In overall kind of side to side. So maybe a little bit wider than 3 feet that I was thinking, maybe closer to that 4 feet, a little over 4 feet.
Yes. I'm gonna get me one of those. I just ordered me a champion jacket with like the Infinity, like the logo Infinity has. But dude, these Infinity. OG Army 10% off. It's great.
Yeah, these sweaters are super comfortable. Like,
they really are.
They're extremely comfortable.
And just know, if they do happen to mess up a print, they will fix it for you guys
immediately.
I'm not going to tell you, but they will. I promise you. I promise.
Eventually gonna be a 1-on-1, man.
Hey, 1-on-1, dude.
Limited, like, that's gonna
be
hysteria.
But for real, okay, we had to cut it. We had to cut it because it's an hour long, and I don't really want an hour long YouTube video. But stay tuned. Y'all get to see our our intro video that I have created. It's amazing. If you have a question and you want us to go over it at the beginning of the stream instead of waiting, comment when we post the YouTube video. Post a comment of the question so that we can write down the questions and we can have a better answer for you rather than just being it live and getting an at the moment answer. We can actually plan it out and say, okay, this is really what I think.
Yeah,
I'll give you the OG difference answer.
Yeah,
very true. But I do think that's important. If you guys give us questions, we're definitely going to touch on it. We're definitely going to try to talk about it. And again, all the support you guys give us is unbelievable. Obviously, we hope that you continue to do it. So like, share, comment, subscribe, whole 9 yards there. Follow everything for us. Give us the support because it is truly unbelievable. Can't thank you guys enough.
All right. Anybody else have any parting words for the community?
We'll see you next time for the origin story.
Next time.
Look, turn on notifications because the origin story will be posted on Twitter when it is going to be live. So,
Big facts.
But thanks everybody for showing up.
Bye for now, guys.
Bye, boys.
Love you guys.
Bye.
Tell me like a Hellcat.